美国最大的敌人还是中国，并非俄罗斯。当时为了围堵中国，美国选择了非常重要而且规划很久的一个策略。这个战略一出来的时候，马上惹怒了他的盟国法国，因为法国完全是被蒙在鼓里，就是和澳洲进行 accuse， 包括美国输出量子科学、生物科技各方面，然后请澳洲加入 accuse。这 accuse 一加入以后呢，他就是购买的不是法国的柴油潜舰，而是美国的核子潜舰。而现在的 accuse 的角色又多了一个澳洲当地，很重要的就是当我刚才所说，美国及欧洲所加起来生产的弹药不足以提供乌克兰战争战场所需要的，所以澳洲现在也成了当地所需要的一些飞弹的生产地。当然有一些呢牵涉到很敏感技术的，美国只让澳洲变成升级或是维修的角色，有些是交给澳洲直接的生产。
A martial display and some fighting words.
We've seen troubling PRC coercion from the East China Sea to the South China Sea to right here in the Southwest Pacific.
As tensions rise in Asia, the US Defense Secretary and America's top diplomat are both in Brisbane to entrench the alliance.
That this AUSMIN meeting comes at a very important time.
澳洲总理艾班尼斯的欢迎词，凸显这场已连续举行33年的美澳外长防长2+2对话，从未有过的紧迫感。刚刚结束号称在南半球史上最大的护身军刀演习，把美澳同盟关系推向高潮后，这次的2+2对话，美国更把澳洲纳入了军工生产的体系中。
Year by year, that military alliance gets ever closer. Today, both countries announcing plans to develop a long-range missile industry in Australia.
We hope to see manufacturing of missiles commence in Australia in 2 years' time.
That draws Australia further into the US industrial base and gives new sources of supply to Washington, whose stocks of ammunition and missiles have been drained by the war in Ukraine.
美国在2战前后曾是民主兵工厂，产能足以支持世界各地的反法西斯战争及后来冷战反共的军事阵线需求。但一场俄乌战争暴露了美国去工业化后在常规武器生产的短板，华府因此打起调动盟国产能的算盘。但这次技术转让的军工生产有限，包括 MK48 重型鱼雷和标准2型舰对空导弹，只有让澳洲有维护、修理和升级的能力。而美国当前在俄乌战场上最需要的227毫米制导火箭弹，将透过技术授权交给澳洲生产。但澳洲也非在美国军工体系的最底层。
Quantum technology promises to be as transformational in the 21st century as harnessing electricity was in the 19th. And at Q Control, we are pioneers in the discipline of quantum control engineering, looking to make this field useful.
2017年成立于雪梨的 Q Control 专精于量子力学的相关应用开发，包括量子电脑、感测和相关军事科技的研发与国际合作。近日更获得澳洲军方合约，协助开发 AUKUS 潜舰用的量子导航系统。潜舰虽然具备极佳的隐秘性，但缺点是潜入水中后很难向外界收发讯号，因此潜航期间需要仰赖陀螺仪罗盘和惯性导引进行导航，无法使用 GPS 等卫星定位。而 Q Control 透过超能原子感射仪，将原子冷却到摄氏零下273.15度，再透过雷射光照达成量子叠加状态，以量子力学来测量和计算这些超低温原子随着载体进行时在速度上出现的细微变化。而以这技术开发的量子感测器，将比现有的 GPS 技术精准许多，且不再需要依赖卫星讯号。Q Control 的研发也打入 AUKUS 及核动力潜舰的合作计划中。
We've made important steps forward in respect of American force posture initiatives in Australia, building on what currently exists. There is a commitment to increase American force posture in respect of our northern bases, in respect of our maritime patrols and our reconnaissance aircraft.
根据美国最新的国防授权法案，美军将在澳洲北部的达尔文建立一座新的任务及规划作战中心，强化航空兵执行打击任务的能力。而作为五眼联盟的铁杆跟班，澳洲对美国是有求必应，整个澳洲大陆几乎对美军全线开放。但这并非美国打鸭子上架，澳洲确实也感受到中国的军事威胁。 就在上个月，南太岛国所罗门总理苏加瓦瑞访问中国，签署了一份警务协定，让中国1500名警力进驻所罗门。对澳洲来说，这等于是中国的武装力量正式进驻自家后院。
The Solomon Islands deal is bad enough, but given its proximity to Australia, a Chinese military presence in PNG would be on another level of strategic threat entirely. Peter is project director and chief spruiker of a bold new vision for Papua New Guinea.
It catches my eye, but there are fighter jets here.
Yeah, that's when we are modeling this, we are thinking into the future.
It's the kind of development that could hold significant dangers for Australia. Called the Kakori-Ihu Special Economic Zone, it's an ambitious $8 billion plan to carve a futuristic industrial city from virgin jungle, not far from Cape York. China has already invested more than $30 million in the project, and it's itching to get more involved. As it looks to establish a military foothold close to Australia, it's little wonder the project has raised alarm bells.
Their strategy is to draw the whole region, every single one of the Pacific Island countries, into the Chinese world and make them dependent on China. And when you have dependency, then you're basically going to give the person you're dependent on pretty much what they want, because you don't have too many options.
澳洲总理埃班尼斯稍早访问纽西兰，后院门户大开，成了两国共同的议题。
The leaders' gaze lifting to their neighbours in the Pacific, trying to steer small island states away from China's overtures.
When Australia provides aid and support to our neighbours, there aren't strings attached. We do that because we are part of the Pacific family.
虽然是昂萨五眼联盟的一员，纽西兰却与北京保持良好关系。但在美澳一波操作后，有了改变。
On AUKUS, as we continue to develop it, as we continue to work, particularly now on the second pillar, the door is very much open for New Zealand and other partners to engage as they see appropriate.
美国近来提出 AUKUS 的第二个支柱，包括人工智慧、量子计算与超高音速导弹等军事技术的开发，这为有坚定无核化政策的纽西兰打开了加入 AUKUS 的大门。而纽西兰本周就正式公布首份国安战略与国防检讨报告，矛头就对准了中国。
The New Zealand government has revealed the threat of China's Pacific pursuit has been a driving force behind its new defence and national security strategy.
The way it conducts itself is counter to the interests that we have and the relationships that we try to form and sustain with our Pacific neighbours.
Good to meet you.
在成功串联纽澳后，布林肯接受澳洲媒体专访，他不讳言地表示，美国一连串在印太地区的军事操作，就是为了嚇阻中国使用武力，这包括台湾。
There's a deep international interest and concern about Taiwan precisely because were there to be a crisis, the impact on countries around the world, quite literally the entire world, is likely to be severe. 50% of commercial container traffic goes through the Taiwan Strait every day. In other words, world commerce depends on it. 70% of the semiconductors that are powering everything from our cell phones to our automobiles to our dishwashers, they're made on Taiwan. So any disruption could have severe consequences for the world. That's why any differences have to be resolved peacefully.
And none of us can afford a conflict there.
None of us can afford a conflict, and that's why we're determined to avoid it.
阻止中国发动战争，美国正以军工合作扩大军事围堵中国的同盟体系。